Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the young leader of Burkina Faso, has a bold vision for his country. He believes in putting Burkina Faso first. He's not afraid to shake things up. Traoré's stance on democracy has ignited debate. He argues that democracy is not the starting point for development, instead he sees it as the end goal. Traoré believes development requires strong leadership and effective policies. He thinks these are more important than elections in the short term. He argues that nations need to build a strong foundation first. Only then can democracy truly flourish. This perspective challenges the traditional Western view. Many believe democracy is the essential foundation for progress. Traoré's critics worry about his methods. They see his stance as a justification for authoritarian rule. They fear he is prioritizing control over individual rights. However, his supporters applaud his focus on Burkina Faso's needs. They believe he is prioritizing practical solutions over abstract ideals. Traoré's approach is rooted in his belief that each nation must find its own path. He argues that Western models of democracy are not universally applicable. He thinks they often fail to address the unique challenges faced by developing nations. Traoré's vision has sparked a critical conversation. It forces us to re-examine assumptions about democracy and development. Since seizing power in 2022, Traoré has taken decisive steps to reshape Burkina Faso. He is trying to reduce dependence on foreign aid and influence. He wants to empower local communities and promote self-reliance. One of his most symbolic moves was rejecting a shipment of mosques from Saudi Arabia. Instead of accepting these gifts, Traoré declared that Burkina Faso needs schools and hospitals. This decision reflects his emphasis on prioritizing the immediate needs of his people. He wants to invest in essential infrastructure over symbolic gestures. Traoré has also taken a hard line against foreign military presence. He expelled French troops from the country. He then turned to Russia for military training and support. This move signals a shift away from traditional Western alliances. It reflects Traoré's determination to forge his own path. He's seeking partnerships that align with his vision of an independent Burkina Faso. On the economic front, Traoré is focused on unlocking Burkina Faso's potential. He wants to move away from relying on raw material exports. He's pushing for the development of local industries. This includes focusing on gold refining and cotton processing. Traoré's goal is to create jobs and boost the national economy. He aims to achieve this through self-sufficiency and value-added production. To understand Traoré's rise and his approach to governance, it is crucial to examine Burkina Faso's turbulent history. Since gaining independence from France in 1960, the country has been plagued by political instability. Coups d'état have been a recurring theme reflecting deep-seated issues within the nation's political fabric. The cycle of coups has undermined attempts at establishing lasting democratic institutions. This has created a climate of uncertainty and hampered the country's development trajectory. The repeated failures of successive governments to address fundamental challenges have fueled public disillusionment with the political class. Corruption, poverty, and inequality have persisted, leaving citizens feeling unheard and underserved. This disillusionment with traditional politics created a fertile ground for Traoré's message of change and national revival to resonate. His promise to prioritize the needs of ordinary citizens, coupled with his decisive leadership style, struck a chord with a population weary of the status quo. However, the legacy of instability also serves as a cautionary tale. It underscores the challenges Traoré faces in breaking the cycle of coups and delivering on his ambitious promises. The international community remains wary, watching closely to see if Traoré's rule will truly usher in a new era of stability and prosperity for Burkina Faso, or if it will become another chapter in the nation's turbulent history. Traoré often points to China and Rwanda as examples of successful development under authoritarian leadership. He argues that these countries have achieved remarkable economic growth and social progress without adhering to Western democratic norms. China's rapid rise from poverty to economic superpower, driven by a one-party state and a focus on state-led development, holds a particular appeal for Traoré. He sees China's model of investing in infrastructure, promoting export-oriented growth, and maintaining tight political control as a potential roadmap for Burkina Faso. Similarly, Traoré admires Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, who has been credited with overseeing impressive economic growth and stability since the Rwandan genocide. Kagame's strongman style of leadership, which emphasizes national unity and discipline, resonates with Traoré's vision for Burkina Faso. However, critics argue that these models come at a high cost. They point to the suppression of dissent, human rights abuses, and lack of political freedoms in both China and Rwanda. They caution against romanticizing authoritarianism, arguing that sustainable development ultimately requires inclusive governance, respect for human rights, and the rule of law. While Traoré may find inspiration in these alternative models, it remains to be seen whether he can achieve similar successes without resorting to the same authoritarian tactics that have drawn international condemnation. Traoré's leadership has polarized public opinion in Burkina Faso. His supporters, many of whom are young people and those residing in rural areas, view him as a strong and decisive leader who is not afraid to challenge the status quo. They applaud his focus on national sovereignty, economic independence, and cultural revival. The rejection of foreign aid and the expulsion of French troops resonated with those yearning for a break from what they perceive as neo-colonial influences. The creation of citizen-funded initiatives such as the National Defense Fund has instilled a sense of ownership and collective responsibility among his base. However, Traoré's critics, including opposition politicians, civil society groups, and some urban residents, express concerns over his authoritarian tendencies and the erosion of democratic principles. The true test of his leadership lies in his ability to unite the nation, address the root causes of discontent, and deliver tangible improvements in the lives of all Burkinabe citizens. Please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and leave a comment below.